Good morning, lads. Good morning, good morning. There we are. What's going on? Gonna let this shake out for a minute. Almost. It's got to run that high for our new model to trade back up into this. This double top doesn't achieve anything if we don't trade underneath 71, which is the idea. We're jumping right into something today, right now, just because we're inside of this key area of interest. I like this shelf to trade higher. It's kind of a beautiful flip, and I can't go long against the double top. Can't go long against the double top, even though we're kind of inside of the origin, which is unmitigated on the way up. Right? We never broke above here and then traded back in on our way, which means that this was left unmitigated. So you should see a decent reaction out of this to then trade back up here. That might have already happened, but we've got our hourly area of interest here, and no structure as well. So we're essentially trying to determine if this midpoint continues to hold, or if this is just going to fly through this and take out these 70s, which is fair considering the double top. Caught some of that short. Nice, nice, really good reaction to the double top there. Right, and you see like this high here. Neither of them really had SMT, right? They kind of went in tandem, went high, low, high, and then created an SNDR to bounce off of, right? So high, low, high, and then this actually attempted, and that high was 1675. That was 1675. So ES double topped, NQ was weak. Down it goes. So expecting these 70s to get tagged. Expecting these 70s to get tagged. Yeah, this is a no trade for me on the new model. It almost got your scalp. It almost got your scalp, right? 18 points there, but trading against a double top. Ideally, no, not for me anyway. Do we have red folder already, or was that later on? So we had some more news today. We did have it at 8:30. We did have it at 8:30. Right, so we did have that. We actually swept underneath already. That was a little small news candle, 30 points. Here goes our low. Here goes the low. Who's ready for round 2 of the giveaways, lads? Appreciate all you guys coming out to the stream. Hopefully you guys have made some money this week. Not necessarily with the live executions on screen, but with everything that's going on that we've been talking about and doing. Kind of watching this play out. We've got our hourly area, right? So if you look at your hourly chart, you got your 15 that we're tabbing into right now. Any sort of reaction or flip or anything like that. Now this is very, very violent, of course, off of a double top, so there's a possibility that it runs up. There's also a possibility that it trades back up into the 80s and then rejects. We're gonna find out pretty quick, but sweeping and failing this, as it stands right now, I would have to have a closure above the 930 high, and then maybe something to stall for me to even consider going long up to this. Aggressive traders looking quite happy. They just skip a candle on me. They did. That was kind of them. There we go. That's better. So first idea would be like this high at 75. We got to have a closure above that. That's your valid low candle. Mendez, hey buddy, how you doing? I did a psychology spitballing Niznos that talks a lot about that. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch it or not, but it's essentially those exact situations. And I think every trader goes through that, don't they? If you've been trading for a while, I think that like you know exactly what I'm talking about. That one day or that one period of time that that disaster strikes. It was on Discord. Morning Standard. I'm glad that that you're doing well, Dan, and obviously we miss you and everything. But if you've got a million and one things to take care of, then the market is the last place you need to be. But I hope you're doing well, bro. It's good to see you. You're actually on the leaderboard of a few of the marble races, so we get to see your name as well. This is a little bit sus. You would expect this violent movement to take these AM lows. ES again chopping around. This is very, very eerily similar to yesterday. Very, very eerily similar to yesterday. People are pricing in the potential of trading lower. If we're looking at our sessions, like this was just a rocket ship higher. We've already taken London high. Cool. We've already taken the daily high from yesterday. So again, multiple objectives already taken. Morning, Wafa. Multiple objectives taken to the upside. Patience, 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 patience. We'll see. ES ran out the 930 highs already. NQ may very well be putting in an SMDR. If we continue to fail here, we're looking at this 15-minute area of interest. Right? So valid internal pullback, valid internal pullback. Obviously a valid internal movement, but that's your higher time frame now. That's your higher time frame that then failed above. We're determining if it's going to fail below or not. Let's actually mark that out. Yeah, you probably mark it there, but I'm going to mark the true low. And then we've got our hourly area as well. 6 minutes. Just did it again. Trading View, man. What is your problem? What do you guys think? Do we miss the 933 candle, or do we care about the 938? Take your pick. Take your pick. Is there a way of reloading historically? Hey, there we go. We got them all. I think we got them all. Good. Good morning, Man Bear. Yes, still grinding. I have a feeling that somebody's going to get clapped today. Maybe. Maybe it is. Right? Let's say hypothetically you have a 55% chance that it's going to drop. %55 chance right now. Is that high enough probability for you to take the trade? It's probably more like 52% if we're going to arbitrarily throw a number out there. Thought you raw dogged life. I don't put sugar or anything in there. My day starts with water. And then I actually love the taste of coffee, but the carnivore for me, you wake up and you're like, bang, you don't have that sort of energy fatigue. So coffee for me is more of like an enjoyable thing. It's not the caffeine buzz, or certainly not a necessary thing to wake me up. Right? So there's your consolidation. We're now rallying. And this is important as well. And you guys will notice I'm not long if you look at the dome, right? But if we fail here, then in reality, this is weak. Right? That's weak. This 15-minute movement has got to achieve something. Otherwise, it looks very, very violent. But all we're doing is just pulling back to this area and then launching. And if we're doing that, well, we don't want to short underneath here, do we? Whether there's a way to get involved or not is irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant, right? We can speculate, you know what, this isn't doing what I want, and maybe there's a long in here, or maybe there's a long on the breakout and we're targeting this, or maybe there's this, that, or the other. But I don't trade based off of maybes. I want to have a very clear direction of where price is going. As in, it's going here. You cannot change my mind unless the chart really does something drastically different. And then I execute. But it's got to be in that order. It's not, I want it to take this low, I want it to go down here, and therefore I'm shorting somewhere. That doesn't make sense. That's trading what we want to see. That's trading what we think. And that's where a lot of issues come in. You have to trade what you see on the chart, and then allow the chart to prove or disprove your hypothesis. But usually that starts with price tipping its hand in one way or the other. This very well could trade up to here. Oops. If we do this and go, well, that makes sense to me. That's our wombo combo, isn't it? Get a reaction from 27 and drop 60 points. Let's go. Let's go. And it could. It very well could. Look at ES. ES is about to run this higher time frame high out. NQ is nowhere near. Nowhere near. I see some people are already running in hoping for the giveaways. We got to make some money first, lads. Looking for pre-market high? Good. Good. The 15-minute failure, if you're trading level to level and you're expecting this to fail and now you're being proven, at least right now, you're being proven correct. This high is a good place to take partials, and then you're allowing this to prove or disprove your idea. Right? This high is weak in my opinion right now. And you've got a flip. We've closed above this manipulation leg. Now we're stalling here. Cool. ES is taking the high, and now we determine if we flip. If we flip, we trade back down. And if we respect this area here, then I think we continue higher. Right? So if this does this, then that sends us lower, and we got to figure out whereabouts that goes. I'm not going to trade inside of this. ES just ran the high out. We'll see how that goes. People came in not knowing what DTF is. What's the activation fee for the ETF? There's none. It's an accelerated evaluation, and they're giving us the evaluation. It's already funded. Right? Like, big shout out to the ETF team. Big shout out to the ETF team. That's the college acronym, yes. That's the college acronym, yes. Sitting in this watching and waiting. You know what it's doing right now? It's deciding. It's deciding, does it have shorts to barbecue above this high? Or does it have enough longs to run them out first and get more commissions that way? Sir, this is a Wendy's. I'd like to speak to Wendy. Let's be real here. Who's here for the DTFs? Who's here for the sauce? Let's be real. It won't hurt my feelings. Hopefully you guys are already profitable enough that you don't need that you can get everything going. DTF and sauce, love it. Cloud based, my man. Freedom model actually would have made about 18 points this morning if you would have taken the scalp. Right, it's not quite the 20, but without giving the model away, the whole point of the freedom model is to run the other side. You're trading with the other side. You're expecting the manipulation to happen, and if there's no manipulation, then the freedom model by default doesn't work. The whole idea with the freedom model is you're done with $400 or more, $400 or more by 9:35 in the morning. And you get to go enjoy your day. It's 33 degrees here. 33 degrees. Right? Bit of both. Need the sauce to make the money on the DTF. That's basically how I look at it too. I decided I'm going to give back a lot more to the community in the last couple of months. So I've been doing a lot of free podcasts, and I've signed up for another few of them. A lot of it is going to be on psychology, as I feel there's a massive discrepancy in the space with actual psychology that doesn't just make you feel good, but is actually applicable. Right? I could teach you guys market structure in a weekend. Getting expansionary movement. This will be interesting to see what happens as we jet up into this 142 area. If it taps back in, we see like a failure or something in here. Cool. We're seeing this sort of expansionary movement. You got major SMT, so any sort of trade in here would be risky. right? But we're seeing this expansion. The 50-minute failure, I think that we take these AM highs at 158. The interesting thing is that sorry, let me digress. So how the giveaways work is you've got to be here and you've got to message something in chat. That's a stall candle. That's not good from the bearish side of things. So I'm waiting to see if I can get triggered in. I don't really want to hit it here, although that's probably very valid, at least to trade back up into these 150s. Am I the CEO of Elite Traders? No. That is Canwall. That is Canwall. The interesting thing that I like about ETF is that they're traders as well. They actually understand everything that we go through. I'm sitting here watching this run to the highs. That's a stall candle, fine. I probably should have hit it. Maybe I was too busy yapping. But going long this high up, right? Not exactly ideal. We can speculate this, whether we get an entry or not. And there wasn't really an entry for me in here. This kind of stalled. I would have liked to have seen some sort of movement back into here. And instead this just went on a rocket ship. But we anticipated no shorts now because this 15-minute failed underneath here. Right? So anybody who's looking short in here or short here or whatever, there's always a chance something can work in the market, but you have to evaluate your probabilities based off of your structure and your system. And if your system is based on confirmation, it's very, very different shorting here. When price has tipped its hand, it wants to go lower, and then that ends up failing, so you take it out. Okay, fine. But shorting here after it fails to go lower here, that's a low probability idea. Here comes that high. Grab 15 long off the stall. Beautiful, JB. Beautiful. I probably should have hit it myself for a scalp. I probably should have hit it myself. I'm an ETF partner lens. I'm not ETF itself. Right? And I've waited a long time to partner with any firm because of their team. In my opinion, there's no reason they're not like well above some of the competition. Both with their team, with how they approach traders that do well, pretty much everything. There's no reason for it. Yes, they do, Lion. Yes, they do. They've made a bunch of changes to a lot of their systems. So I don't recall if they like hyper scalping, which is less than I think 5 or 10 seconds. I'm not quite sure. Might be 15 seconds. Right? If that's a pattern of trading, that is. Would I say 4-hour fair value gap on ES is valid? This to me, I mean, that's a bearish candle, so we did flip in fairness. Right? But if we're going to go lower, if they're going to go lower, this is a beautiful wedge failure. You got your 1, 2, 3, and then drop. But that drop has got to do what? It's got to achieve something. It can't just look nice. It's got to actually achieve something. So those of you guys that like to trade based off delivery, and I do as well, when you're looking at these charts, if you get a flip, it's got to break structure. Otherwise, it's useless. And all it is just a pullback back down to an area of interest that sent us up in the first place. This failed underneath that low. Had we broken underneath that low, now we're looking to trade back in and go short from a higher time frame perspective. The fact that we didn't, for the same reason this high was weak here, and we talked about that at 938, even though I watched this entire thing move like a fool. Well, not a fool, actually. It didn't fit my rules, so I'm fine walking with that. Right? But for the same reason that this ran that high, this will run this high. We might kick and scream. We might do flips. We might do whatever. But price is tipping its hand until proven otherwise. So in other words, what I'm saying is any fair value gap short in here might give you a bit of a reaction, maybe. But I wouldn't expect them to be anything other than displacement that's meant to be inverted. And we kind of saw like NQ was dropping, ES was trading sideways. There was some SMT long there as well. Double tops and bottoms both ways. Yes. Yes, so you follow the most recent one. You follow the most recent one. So we ran higher. We flipped. We now know we're going lower as of right here. We don't know this is going to fail when we're at 914. We don't know that. What ends up happening is we trade down and now we failed here. That means this double top is now invalid. And that's how I approach ranges as well. If you've got a range-bound environment, you follow the last sweep. So we sweep here, we trade underneath. We fail there, guess where we're going? If we fail above here again, guess where we're going? Same thing happened actually in a higher time frame in all this. Right? If you look at your... actually, ES is a lot cleaner, but... like fail, fail, right? Fail, fail. Range-bound environment. You got about a minute 50 for the next hourly candle. Right? This is actually a little lower time frame CSD. That's a valid bearish engulfing candle. I'd be a little surprised if we didn't stab back down to this area, which is kind of what I'm hoping / waiting for. The problem with that is that we want our 50-minute to confirm up here. Here's your 15 right now. Get rid of all this. Right? There's your 15. So ideally we want some sort of a closure above here in the next minute or so, which then we can look for a pullback back down to the S&DR. If this kind of closes inside, then it's a little bit sus. You would still expect this high to go at 58. But if we get some form of like a sweep and failure and then it starts to trade back lower, I don't know if I'd be taking this. Because now we're buying a failed breakout. Did you miss the giveaway? No. No, I actually haven't taken a trade yet. We analyzed this high to go, and I've been sitting on my hands the entire time. Right? So, like this area, you get that sort of bearish engulfing candle that takes a high. That's a valid high. People will sell as that comes back in. They're up 10 points right now. Congratulations. Still sitting on my hands. ES with a beautiful manipulation. We very well could just go sideways and then melt all shorts that are coming in. We very well could go sideways. Sweeping underneath here, not exactly ideal. Here's your 10 a.m. We expect that 15-minute high to go at least at 58s. Hey, Fire Coal, what's going on, buddy? This is not doing what I would want from short, so I'm expecting a bit of a squeeze here. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Morning, Tigo. Giveaway done? No, it's not. We haven't done it yet. Still waiting to make my trades. Still waiting. Still waiting, still waiting, still waiting. That was probably a pretty valid long in there based off of price action, of course, but NQ flying, ES a little bit slow to the party. Not really liking how they're moving in tandem today. And all of a sudden we're quite interested in these shelves that we were left untapped. Right, so that one's at 181. You've then got this high here at 198. It's very possible that we take this 222. Do I trade MNQ? No. Am I in shorts or longs? There's been no... I suppose this would have been like a questionable short for me. If I would have taken like a scalp in there, but certainly break even if it didn't. If it did that, that was a scalp long, in my opinion. That would have gotten tagged. Right? There's just no trigger for me at all. Right? We've got 15-minute failure down here, which sent us higher. Right, so was looking to get involved in this run-up. Couldn't really pull the trigger. That stall candle should have been something that I hit. And just watching. Just passed TPT today. Congrats, man. I think that's the future for the rest of the year. I think that's the rest of the future for the rest of the year is that, and probably next year as well, is that people will collect live accounts in multiple prop firms. What was my biggest profit month ever? I made $27K per account back when I was trading with Apex. So I ran up a bunch of them. Hey Hades, what's going on, man? The slower you are, the more successful you are. Yes. Yes, we talk about emotions, and usually emotions get the bad rap as well. Right? Where we're looking at FOMO or we're looking at this, that, or the other. There's got to be positive ones too. You got to be excited. Right? You gotta be excited as well. Otherwise, you're kind of like, oh man, I have to trade today or something like that. It doesn't really work. Doesn't really work. Is the 90% off on take profit? No. So the 40% is the take profit discount, but they also have no activation fee when you pass, I believe. Right? The 90% off is on the ETF accounts. So they have like a really, really good sale going on right now. But they're essentially the only two firms that I really, really recommend right now. There's a lot of firms out there and a lot of traders as well, if we're being honest, that have huge bases, and I'm kind of going, why? Doesn't really make sense to me. So NQ blasted, ES is traded sideways. We've actually got some triple tops going on. So be a little bit surprised if we didn't run this out. Still sitting on my hands, not really liking anything. I can understand the long scalps that are coming in here, right? Tipping our hand. I think that I need some sort of attempt to fail that can't, right? Like, otherwise we're just kind of spike, base, spike, base, spike, base until the music stops, in which case I don't want to be the one left without a chair. Right? But my sort of system is I want that pullback, and then I want some sort of a flip or some sort of a reaction in an area of structure so that I can justify whereabouts my risk is. If I'm long here, where's my risk? Arbitrarily underneath this? Is that fair? Yeah. Yeah, Top Step has some diehard people, and I was live with them as well. You know? But, like, why? What makes them the best? If you're a new trader starting out, what's the primary concern for the majority of people? It's probably your barrier to entry. As in, do you want to be paying $250 per account that you pass? Even if the payouts are better, or at least shorter days, is that really what we want? Probably not. Probably not. You probably want the cheapest evaluation so that you're able to hone your skills and away you go. And then once you pass, now you can choose to activate or not. Which obviously you would. Stabbing back down into this. Okay, cool. Here's our 15. You got 7 minutes left. 7 minutes left. Right? So this, oh my goodness. TradingView's having all kinds of issues this morning, isn't it? And that just went on a rocket ship. Underneath this, so failed to make a valid high, at least so far. I did want it down to here. I haven't really gotten anything that I wanted this morning. Haven't gotten anything that I wanted this morning. Can barely walk down the stairs from leg day. And the market just making it nothing so far. Nothing so far. It should take the AM highs at least. And you're hoping the ES gives you a strong pop. I think that this will run those 80s we talked about to the left. These ones. At least that high here. I'm actually going to mark that off. The more that I look at this, the more I have a bit more conviction with that. I still think that this is not out of the realm of possibility. I'm just not really liking how we're just messing around. Faster firms. Faster in what aspect? Bullpen is for ETF, I believe. Bullpen is for ETF. Like $16 for a 50K account is insane. Right? Like if you guys are able to pass evaluations and go for payouts, and then it's just a case of being consistent. In other words, not tilting. And we're going to go into that a lot. Right? That's probably the main, it seems to be the topic of a lot of the phone calls that I have for strategy with people. Is how do I stop tilting? And as if that's a conscious thing. If you have a subconscious thing that's going on, And by subconscious, I mean emotional, where you're kind of going like, I don't know what happened today, or I was doing so well and then something just completely overrode it, or whatever crazy event that goes on, and we throw it under the emotional, okay, I'll just try it again. That's likely a subconscious programming, and the wisdom of retail is to use affirmations or some other nonsense. I'm disciplined, I'm disciplined, I'm disciplined, I'm disciplined. And your brain goes, you're an idiot. No, you're not. See? Here's your proof right here. You moron. Right? This should trade underneath this low, and if we fail, then we send higher. ES finally ran this out. We're seeing, we're trying to determine what we're going to do here. Right, this 15-minute, we want to make sure that this is actually going to hold up here. Right? This does not look like it wants to hold up here so far. I still like these 80s and higher. But we need a bit of a reaction. This is knifing in. Yeah, so everybody's got different things that show up based off of money. Right? This is actually a flip. This moving back up. You might get a movement back up to the 60s. You might not. This may very well stop at 151 and then drop. I don't think I'm going to hit it short, even though I think it's probably a decent idea. I don't like how it failed earlier, so we'll wait and see. But pay attention to the patterns. The only advice I can give you guys without going into NLP, which we're not going to do on this because we want to make some money, is that there's certain patterns, and your life and your brain operates on a thermostat. So if you're at 80 degrees, and 80 degrees for you is you can pass evaluations, you're a consistent trader. And then once you get close to a payout and it becomes real, all of a sudden your brain goes, hey, no. Take it easy here, pal. Take it easy. You know, we don't deserve, or, you know, a $6,000 payout for this work isn't is a lot of money to us or our family or whatever framing that you've got of it. Ooh. Considering this long here. I like that we're stalling. I want to determine what the next sort of candle is. Hopefully we don't just blast. If we sweep and then trade through, I'm probably going to hit this long, at least to trade up to the 60s. And then if we're right, we run the AM high out as well. That opens 53. So we got to sweep this low at 48 and then trade through 53 ideally. Very, very possible to be hitting it here, but it's a lot more aggressive. Just with the stall price action. 30 seconds. This will be a tight stop. Not going to let this run. Essentially looking for 57s and then trading back up into 64 and or 69 and beyond. But we certainly need to blast. I don't like the reaction from that imbalance, so I'm expecting it to go a little bit higher. But I very well could just get dumped on here. We'll see. Was the giveaway already? No. I don't want this to stall on the way up. I want this to be, we've taken our liquidity, we've hit our SNDR, we want to at least bounce. Very, very reasonable to suggest that we're going lower, for sure. I like how ES is stalling at the highs. This does not look good. It looks like we're going to get stopped here. Probably could mitigate, but I'm going to allow it to run to my stop even if it... There it goes. Okay, so the idea was inside candle, looking for that breakout. We got a little bit of a pop, but again, 3 points. Nothing I was interested in. It did flip, in fairness, so I was looking for that idea to trade back up at least to here. Just kind of stalled. So no real price action. ES still trading sideways. We'll see if this can drop underneath here. This is a valid area of interest as well. So a little surprised we didn't get a little bit more out of it, but that is what it is. This will be nasty if they sweep us out and then run. I think, yeah, bunch of different things going on. %30 consistency rule on Apex. The Apex is like the 30% like intraday. So they're like, so they're scared of people windfalling with them. They're scared of people windfalling with them. But what I don't like about Apex is just they arbitrarily put you in, like they put me in this eval ban because I made too much money with them. So here we are. Right, so drop CSD sideways, not exactly ideal. And we'll see if this can generate anything. Maybe we trade back down to this. Maybe we just drop. Who knows? I'll probably make a video showcasing the ETF accounts and the prop and whatnot. I think that's a good idea. Les has been at me as well, just because I think that it's important to at least have the information. Giveaway has not been done yet. It will be happening, yes, absolutely. Both fair value gaps got inverted in the bearish. Fair value gap got filled. Why getting short? I wasn't short. I was long. I was long in this based off of this. So this area was responsible for breaking the high. I didn't really like the 15-minute candle, right, which was this one. It ended up closing bullish, right? And here we are. So still thinking that there's going to be some sort of nonsense going on here. I don't like how it's following through. I'm considering taking an aggressive trade in here, but just kind of disgusting price action, if I'm honest. Right? But ETF, I mean, ETF is, they're just a phenomenal firm. They're a phenomenal team, and okay, this is good. Sorry. This is good. Ideally, closure above that, I think, sends us up. Otherwise, I think we just avoid this entirely. And part of the, come on, right? So like inside candle, yes, you've got, this isn't really a fair value gap that I'd be interested in. For those of you guys that trade off of fair value gaps, you want displacement above, right? So like this candle failed to close above that one. So this gap to me isn't really what I'm looking for. Finally tapped into our area of interest. If you're looking at This, you've got a little bit lower for the premium discount range. If you're looking at the actual one, it's actually slightly lower than that, which is underneath this liquidity. You see it on the dome. You don't see it on the chart because NinjaTrader charts are garbage. And I like having my setup with ES and NQ side by side. That's why. Right, so this should trade back up into here, and if we get major failure at 42, then that'll be interesting as well. I think if we close above this high at 45.75, then we get sent up above these. Don't really want to force some trades here, but we'll see what goes on. Trading into the breaker now. ES also has reasons to go higher. I really don't like this for a top. I think there's a ton of liquidity under that's been cleared above there. Just don't really want to force anything. Stall candle will be nice. Stall candle will be really, really nice. Imagine there's been a lot of those. Kind of kicking myself for not getting long here at 35 when I wanted that, but we'll see where this goes. Did that technically, I suppose, if that low is 56.75, then that already achieved trading into that manipulation there. I thought we would go a little bit higher, but perhaps that analysis wasn't super spot on. Our 15-minute opening range is here, right? So that we've already tapped into it now, so we're kind of waiting to see if we get a reaction. If I continue up with this, then we're tapping into that now. So we'll see if we get something in here. Given the movement, I'll probably be looking for a for an aggressive trade. And depending on what goes on, that might be my last stab at this. We'll see. Right, I do think that we at least sweep some of this out. We've got a fair amount of liquidity underneath here, at least in the 20s. $121, not good enough. Okay. ES stabbing down into here, which I like a lot. That was the area that really sent us up in the morning.
Order submitted.
If we get a reaction from this midpoint, that would be ideal. This stab down to 115. I think we at least have to take this high if it hasn't been done yet. I might be late to this party.
Order submitted.
Okay, so we got to close above this 30.25. We've got to do it. Otherwise, we're just taking liquidity and we're actually going to run lower here. We got another, this is a new 5-minute candle. So I want to see if this expands or not. We're having some difficulty above that 30 level here. Okay, last attempt to push. We got to have a little bit of a squeeze. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We'll probably just take this for a scalp. There's back into the 40s. Oh. Push. Don't like that sweeping failure. We got to recover that. You might actually get a better squeeze here. If you're in with multiple, then you might take one off now, just in case the CSD fails. And then let it ride if you're going to get a little bit more for those 50s, those 57s. Looking to see if we sweep that bullish candle at minimum. Seriously considering taking it off here with this stall, but I like the setup a lot. And do we get it?
Order canceled.
Target filled. Boom. Watching, waiting, watching, waiting, watching, waiting, watching, waiting. Execute. Now you've got your flip, ideally. Assuming we close above here. Anybody take that? Do we at least understand why we took that? Like, break even at 125 and smiling. Underwood's basically like, yeah. Man, oh man. You're probably good for 157, I think. What I didn't like was how ES is kind of stalling. And this is me just overanalyzing, perhaps. But like, I like it. I have higher confluence when they're moving in tandem with each other. When NQ's flying and ES is flying. If NQ is like, let's go, we're going to the moon, baby, diamond hands, woo. And ES is like, I'm just going to sit in the corner with my orange juice. Nobody talk to me. Then, well, they're best friends. They both should be the life of the party. No? Nope. First target, 51 for 20. Boom! Boom! Do we get our 57s? For those of you guys that are holding? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, people taking the same trades. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Who could have predicted this? Do we get them, though? Not done yet. Not done yet. So this is the interesting thing. If you look at the ES chart, the concepts of... Good trade, Kojak. Way to get involved in that, man. Way to get involved in that. This is the power of protected highs, protected lows. Or the failure to do so. The failure to do so. So you've got this valid pullback on ES. Valid pullback. And by valid pullback, we got a closure underneath the last structural bullish candle. When that makes a new high, this area here becomes, strong, right? Again, with the idea that we want to trade from areas that are responsible for doing something, right? Responsible for doing something. We don't just trade from areas because we like them. You know what? 35 is my favorite number. Let's take a trade of the 35s. What could possibly go wrong? I like this number. No, you trade from areas that are actually responsible for generating price action in the area that you want, right? So, shocker, traded back to the midpoint. Now it's traded up. Now, this is your last structural bullish candle on this movement up. It's not that one. That one took the liquidity, but this is a sweep. You might not know that's a sweep, but let's say you looked at ES and we took the liquidity and then we flipped. Right? Now we flipped. That's not a flip that I would take. But let's say that we flipped here finally. Okay. Now essentially we're heading down, but now you have to head down to where? Head down to where? We're not just trading lower because we like to go lower. We're trading up and down to something, right? So we swept this high. Now we've got this low. Well, if we sweep that low, where do you think we're going now? Congrats on your guys' trade that held through this. If I was in multiple cons, yes, one would have gone off here. You got another target here. We've now based and spiking. You want to determine if this is going to close above this or not. And then essentially you don't want a flip occurring. That would happen after that. Instead, we've got this now, right? My point is that we traded back down to this area of interest. We actually expect in bullish environments that this will put in a new high on ES, especially since we failed to make a valid high here. And if you look at NQ, we don't have a bearish candle in the last hour. Nothing. Right? This one tried going bearish. That didn't work. This one certainly had an attempt at going bearish. That didn't work. Right? Nothing. So where do you think we're going? Where do you think we're going? 175. And then on to 180s. And beyond maybe. Who knows? Final stop 173. Break even at plus 20. Legend. Let's get some fire in the chat for those of you guys that hit this. Especially for those of you guys that actually held the target for once. Hold the target for once. Do something differently, lads. Or else your results are going to remain the same. Boom! There's the highs for those of you guys that held. Who could have predicted this? Who could have predicted this? Now, as we're showcasing passing evaluations, I'm doing base hits. Base hits, because there's no sense making, unless you have a 1 day to pass. If you have a 1 day to pass, it's a little bit different. Right? But if you're going base hits for your PAs or for your evaluations or anything like that, objective to objective to objective to objective to objective to objective. And then once you're comfortable, that's when you start swinging. But until then, work on your lower objectives so that when you're wrong, your psychology can handle it a lot better. For example, we took a loss here, 10 points. We then made 20 here. And guess what? If there's another trade that makes 20, happy days. Really happy days. Right? Make sense? We want to make some more money, or do we want some giveaways? What are you guys thinking, lads? And ladies. Sorry, I shouldn't generalize. Everybody out of their positions? What's going on? Both. I love the both. Good lads. Forest for the trees. Forest for the trees, right? Gotta have both. Got one micro reaching for the stars. Let's go. Astronaut Nisnos. Woo. Okay, you guys got till 10:40. 10:40. We'll do it a little bit differently this time. Okay? And the reason for this is because once we start these giveaways, man, once we start these giveaways, lads, I'm not adding anybody in. So 10:40 is the cutoff. 10:40 is the cutoff. You just did. How do we join? You type anything in the chat to get involved. It's right on the screen. It's right there. Right there, lads. Right there. Yeah, I like much higher as well. I like much higher as well. If we continue to get going, like up here. This AM high that was left at 222. 222. Do I know when they're going to do discounts? No. No, I do not. ES is much weaker than NASDAQ. Yes, it is. Right? So you've got A+ setups. You've got ones. And by the way, while we're waiting, we got another minute before I save the chat. And if you're involved, you're involved. If you're not, man. Man. Now, out of curiosity, lads and ladies, while we're waiting and I'm exporting this stuff, type in the chat, what's the difference between an A+ setup and a B setup? Do you take B setups? What's the difference? What's the difference in your execution? Size. I saw a few people type it. Size. What's the minimum criteria to have a setup in the first place? It better be profitable, or it's not a setup. That's a losing strategy, right? And that works for your C-level setups as well. right? So when your A plus setup hits, you size the hell into it. Because that's your unicorn. If you've got a C level setup, it might pay 60% of the time and it's still profitable. I see people exporting names now, lads. I see people talking about only take your A-level setups. I suppose that's fair. But the reality is that if you're profitable, this is not an A-plus setup for me. It's not. Right? It's sure profitable. I would classify that as a B. A plus for me would have been, we've got a very, very clear draw on liquidity. We've got a flip. We trade back in. This is A plus. 15-minute week high and let's go. That's A plus. I will hit that with 2-3 contracts all the time. All right. Who's fired up? Who is fired up? Giving away 2. We gave away 2 yesterday. Gave away 2 back today. All right. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, I got my cord for my mouse. DTF is direct to funded. Means you start earning payouts from day 1, lads. Woo! Day 1. Day 1, day 1, day 1. Down to fund. All right. We fired up? Like, let's get going here. The OG marble races. The OG marble races. You guys see the screen? Is today the day? We got 99 names in here, but a DTF ain't one. Add another couple in. Yeah, I think I got less in there as well. We'll keep it at 100. Okay, so those of you guys that were involved before 10:40, you should be in on this. You know what? Let's actually make ball making plays. Bum, 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 bum. Everybody should be in here. All right. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Ooh, we thinking some death? Some Death Alley? I think Death Alley. We'll start off with some death, eh? I think they're 250 bucks each. Pretty sure they're 250 bucks each. So you guys that are winning this, woo! Please give a shout out to ETF. Here we go. On sale. Fair point. Fair point. They're usually 600 bucks. ETF is the GOAT. Are we ready to rock? Good luck. You've got to be here by the time we start the next race, or else we run it back. This is the OG marble races. Love Tradeify, but they stole it. Can't blame them. This is fun. We've got a Pi Power followed closely by Nisnos. Who gets launched? Dilip, Ram, Facia, Darren. Darren, you were too young, my bro. Saitama. Oh my goodness, they landed it. They landed it. Ooh. Ooh. Demetrius Sia. Hack the Planet coming in hot. Look at him, he's breaking away. Followed closely by Andrew. Where's Andrew at? Where's my guy, Andrew? Oh, look at him flying. NJ up high. Joris. Oh, we got to catch up to the leaders here, lads. Kavya. Kavya flying. Oh, no. Andrew takes the lead. He's coming in. The first place curse. The first place curse. And, oh, Kavya. There they go. Right down the pipe. I think they've got it. They might be setting a new record here. Look at this. Oh, making plays, making plays. Making plays. Making plays. They have the record. Kavya. Woo, Kavya. Congrats. Congrats, congrats. Epic. Where are they? They were just here. There they are. Nice work. We got 17 seconds. People are going to get cooked. Super Crispy. That's an epic name. Please fry Super Crispy. Oh, they landed it too. Epic. 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 All right, we run it back again. We got Eye of the Storm. We haven't done that one yet, actually. This will be the second one. We're only giving away 2 this morning. We're only giving away 2 this morning. All right. Ping me on Discord or in school. Ideally, Zool. School. Zool. All right. Round 2. Last giveaway of the week, lads. Here we go. Eye of the Storm. Haven't done this one yet. This will be epic. It shouldn't be lagging. I don't think I have internet issues. This is kind of cool. The water's going on the camera of this. Is that the actual thing? Is that like lightning, or is that the stream itself? That's weird. Yeah, let's restart this. Let's restart this. Hold on. That's weird. Oop. Wild. Close out of all my brokers here. Get that one. Take TPT off. Take that one off. Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna go the preset lower. We'll see how that works. Yeah, that should be better. Let's try this now. All right. Let's run it back. Let's do something different. Twists and turns? Sure, let's do twists and turns. Let's do twists and turns. We'll actually export this again really quick. And that's just my apology for this taking a while with the leg. Where's my tilt? Better not be tilt. The lag is bad today, is it really? I'm actually in the process of getting Starlink. Discord link. I'll post links in a sec. Let me get the names so we're not waiting forever. Weird. I'm right in the middle of a major city, and around the exact same time every day, there's issues with lag. I don't really know what's going on. All right, let's add that in. Yeah, We're probably going to do like a big travel trip as well. And Starlink just works out nicely. Good thing I'm not trading if it's lagging like that. That's outrageous. McDonald's Wi-Fi. Well, I'm not on that. I pay $150 a month for internet. All right, let's see if this works properly. Okay, everybody should be in here. Everybody should be in here. Quick little scroll down just for the lads, and then we'll give it away. The hype, the delay though, yeah? Outrageous. Everybody should be in here. There's the lad that was making, or questioning earlier. Starlink's $40 a month. Is that it? I think it's like 120 or so I was looking at. All right, one final edition. Fine, two. Let's go. 115. Twists and turns times 2. Round 2. Let's go. Yeah, but what's the speed of the $39? Yeah, I know. The Europe with the cell phone plans and internet, it's so much cheaper than Canada. Canada is insane. I don't know why we have such a cartel. Who's first? Who's going to get there first? Pass my second eval. Attaboy, Lane. Fibs. Fibs came to play. Hopefully this is a little bit better. It looks like a lot better lag. Or better stream. We finding it much better? It looks much better on my chart. Is there a first place curse on this? Fibs is running away with it so far. Do we have anything coming up? A little bit of delay there. Doesn't look like there's anything crazy. Is there like a second one? How does that work? Fibs coming through, followed closely by Sheba and Sam. All right, here we go. Do we zip through? Is it going to be heartbreak? Sheba and Sam taking it. Round the corner, here he goes. And Sam, where is he? Where's Sammy boy? All right, we'll save these settings as well. That was kind of a lame map, wasn't it? It's kind of a lame map. I don't think anybody's going to get cooked either. There's 37 seconds and everybody's already victor. Yeah, this race was lame, wasn't it? This race was lame. Where is Sam? Is he here? Yeah, nobody died, I don't think, either. Not a death. There he is. Let's go. All right. Sam boy. What do you guys want? You guys want some strategy calls? Should we do a mentorship day? What do you think? I don't have any more accounts to give away today. We can still play. I think we're good. I think we're good. All right. Last place should win, yeah. We'll make a note for next week's giveaways that we're not going to do that map. That was lame as shit. That was lame as shit. No more twists and turns. All right. Hopefully you guys are agreeing this morning. Hopefully you guys are agreeing this morning at least. Called out a few bangers. And, yeah. Quick couple of links. Make sure you guys do not miss these. Do not miss these. Where am I here? School. So you guys don't miss these giveaways in the future. And then our Discord as well. There's some good stuff in both. It's all free. And as I've mentioned previously, you guys are going to want to get to level 4 in school for the end of this month. We're going to be doing a huge yearly giveaway. We're going to be doing a huge giveaway. Okay? So make sure you guys are watching for the news on that. If you're still trading, you're likely doing quite nicely. We'll see you guys later on. Trade safe. We'll talk soon. Bye, 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 bye.